Um, what are some of the challenges between being both the writer and the director?
It's a good question. It's a huge challenge because you don't have objectivity about what you write. You know, you rely on the actors and you rely on the situation to dictate if you've made mistakes in the writing. It's both very rewarding because, of course, it comes from you. The upside is it's very personal almost always when you've written it. The downside is you always have to be worried about thinking too much of yourself and thinking how, you know, I'm the best writer of all time and every word of mine is sacred. And that cannot be the approach, because if it is, the thing becomes rigid and you try to force it into a box. And with movies, I find that the idea of a vision, a solitary vision, is a bogus one. That the idea is you bring great actors and editors and cinematographers to work with you because they're going to expand the original idea you had. That's the challenge, is to be able to be the filter. Get rid of the ideas that get in the way of what you originally thought about and embrace the ideas that make it more beautiful.
The film is set in the 20s with a very, very unique look. How did you come about that?
A lot of it is based on the history of the period. I'll give you an example. If you contemplate New York life circa 1920, 1921 when the film is set, you have to realize that practically all of the heat that was provided in all the homes, for example, was gathered by burning coal and wood. So the air quality was probably pretty horrendous. The light was almost exclusively from gaslight. There was electricity in some of the tenements, but mostly it was gaslight, which tends to let off a kind of yellow ochre hue. And you realize that that goes a long way in dictating how the film looks, because you're trying to capture a certain authenticity of emotion, and that is often dictated by how it looks. We also went back, and Darius Kanji, the cinematographer, and I went back and looked at the paintings of the period by William Glackens and Everett Shin and John Sloan, all these wonderful painters, a school called the Ashcan School of Painters. And these early color pictures called autochromes, which are a series of dyes spread on glass to make what black and white photos, make them look like color. So we used all of this as the kind of inspiration for how the film would look.
It's in some ways not your classic American dream.
That's true.
And I'm curious, will that surprise people maybe?
I don't know. It's a good question you ask, because that comes from a personal place. You know, my grandparents came to the United States through Ellis Island in 1923, and my memory of them telling me stories, practically all of which wound up in the movie, by the way, was not, I came to America and it was great, with a big smile. It was more like I came to America and it was very difficult. And there are things that are great about being here, but there are also things I miss about where I had to leave, because that's where I was born, and I miss culturally from where I've come. So to me, the American dream had like I said, it's not fake, it's not bogus, it's not a bogus idea, but at the same time, it's not a simple notion. It's not about wish fulfillment. Will it surprise people? In a way, I hope not. In a way, I hope it feels like a certain truth to them. But maybe it will, because it's certainly not what we see usually, I think.
Did you have a good time working with the actors you chose?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, in a way, it was too much fun, because there are times in the film where I had to cut just at the last moment, because after that someone would be laughing. I mean, I find that people do great work with you if they are under incredible stress and worry about being fired every second, or if it's like a party. And I feel like if that's true, why not just have it be like a party? So the sets of my films have tended to be a lot of fun, and this was, in some cases, unfortunately, no exception. I mean, Joaquin and Jeremy certainly got along very well, and there was a lot of pranksterism on the set.
I can only imagine. Thank you very much.
Thank you.